This is the inside of the 2021 Benimar Tessoro 413. If I firstly move to the main control panel, I can turn the 12 volt on by firstly pressing this button here, followed by this one here. Beside that, we then have water pump on and off. We need the water pump on to be able to get water out of the taps, flush the toilet and fill the boiler if it's been drained down. Next we have awning light on and off, and then buttons along the bottom mainly give us information. So this first one here will give us a condition of the leisure battery, and then this one here will give us a condition of the vehicle battery. This one will let us know how much water is in the fresh tank. We will get a red flashing light just here when the grey water tank needs emptying. When your fresh water drops into the low region, this amber one here will occasionally flash to let you know you need to be thinking about filling your fresh water tank up. And if either of the batteries did get low, again you will get flashing indicators. This last button just here just controls the illumination of the control panel, so basically it's a dimmer switch. This here is just indicating that we are currently connected to mains electricity. And this one here, if we start the engine, it will illuminate. These two buttons do need to be on, and it basically illuminates to let you know that the alternator is charging the batteries. Beside this main control panel just here, we then have the control panel for the Truma heating and hot water system. So you'll see at the moment it's displaying the time, and it's also letting us know that we're hooked up to main supply. If I now press the button, we'll get a series of icons, and as I rotate they will begin to flash. So if we start with this first icon just here, this is for your heating, and you'll see heating is off. All we now do is we rotate the button and pick whatever temperature we would like it to be inside the motorhome. Once we've decided, click to store it in, and you'll now see a little flame has appeared above. That little flame there just represents the heating system, and it's just letting you know that you've set a parameter. Whenever the heating's in operation, it will begin to flash, and it will continue to flash until it's achieved the temperature that you have asked it. If we now move across to the next icon, this one here is for your hot water. Again, you can see it's off. If I now rotate, we can heat hot water in eco mode. So this will give us a temperature of about 40 degrees. We can heat in hot, which will give us a temperature of about 60 degrees. And we can also perform a boost on the boiler. The boost was mainly designed for if there's going to be more than one of you having showers in quick succession of each other, or if you just want hot water extremely quickly. If you do perform the boost and the heating is actually running, it will turn the heating off. And again, the icon will continue to flash until it's achieved the temperature you have asked. After heating in hot water, we then have power source. So at the moment, we are using mains electricity, indicated by the two little lightning strikes. So mains electricity using 2 kilowatts. If I rotate, I can lower my power consumption to 1 kilowatt, which is handy if we're on a low amp site to try and avoid tripping. If we have both power sources available to us, we can run in dual fuel, so we can run on a mixture of gas and mains at 2 kilowatts, or a mixture of gas and mains at 1. In this setting here, it will only use the gas as it's required. And then lastly, if we don't have any main supply at all, we can solely run on gas. Next we have the circulation fan for the heating system, so we can run it in eco or in high. If I actually turned the heating off and went back to it, we can also use it just to vent the motorhome as well. This lower icon here is for a basic timer. Just literally click on it, pick when you would like the timer to come into operation, and then when you would like it to finish. And then once you've done this, literally just pick what you would like on within that time period. What power source you would like. We'll leave the fan in eco. And then lastly, timer on or off. If I now activate it, the timer icon will come up there, and now within that time period those settings would apply. If I now turn it back off again, we can go back in and obviously then re-alter it again. After timer set, we then literally just have clock set just here. And then lastly we have the settings menu. So within this we have offset for the thermostat, which is just here. If you don't think it's quite correct, you can just slightly adjust it. We then have temperature, just if you prefer it displayed in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Brightness of the screen. 12 or 24 hour clock. Language. Index, which is more for the technicians, it just lets them know what software it's running. And then lastly, full factory reset. From time to time, these control panels will throw up error codes. They will usually be something relatively easy, so it may flash up to let you know that you've no longer got main supply connected or you've run out of gas, etc. An error code will appear when my finger is here as a warning triangle. If you click on it, you will then get a series of letters and numbers. If you then look within the manual, if you Google it, it will tell you what the problem is. If it's something simple and you can sort it out, once you have done this, the control panel will usually then just reset itself, so the error code will disappear. If the error code hasn't disappeared, go back to the warning triangle and double click on it. It will then sometimes say no error and disappear. If you still have no joy, if you've still got stuff running like I have at the moment, just turn them off, because it can sometimes reassess a lot faster when it's not doing lots of things at once. If this still doesn't work, I always suggest the good old-fashioned turn it off, turn it back on again. Just hold this button in until it says off. Wait until off has disappeared on the screen and then turn it back on again. And if you still have no luck with this, then I always suggest the factory reset. You can't hurt it in any shape or form. Sometimes these panels just need to be hard reset and then they will run correctly again. This particular system can also be run from the Truma app, so you can download this app onto your smartphone or a tablet. Once you've downloaded it, you need to make sure that your Bluetooth is turned on and then launch the app. It will then tell you to go to the iNet box, and the iNet box in this model is just located above the microwave, so you can see it just here. It will firstly ask you to push the Bluetooth button just here, and it will then send the Bluetooth signal out and you will then connect up to it. Once you've connected up, you will then be able to control your heating and your hot water locally via Bluetooth. What you can also do if you want to is purchase a pay-as-you-go SIM card, and then it basically inserts where my finger is here. You can then register that through the app, and then you can control your heating and your hot water from much further afield. Whilst we're up here, we also have the digital amplifier for the television aerial, on and off just on the side here, and then we can control the boost just here. The television then just attaches on here, and then we can plug it all in here, so we have the aerial fly lead. 12 volt if we're running a 12 volt TV, and we also have a mains socket just here. If we now remove the bench seat cushions and we now lift up, you'll see in here that we have the location of the boiler itself, and then we also have the trip switches just here. So if something's not working on main supply, just come to see whether or not you've tripped. Also in here you have the blue test button as well. We have the 12 volt fuses just here, so if something's not working on 12 volt, just check to see whether or not you popped a fuse. Battery charger just here, so this is what's charging both vehicle and leisure battery when hooked up to the main supply. We then have a bit more of the battery charger just here. This is also where the solar panel is connected up to as well, and you get little flashing lights letting you know the solar is active. To drain the boiler down for winterization, it's just done on the drain valve just here. These particular drain valves are automatic, so if it's in the closed position and the temperature inside the motorhome drops below about 3-4 degrees, this valve will automatically open to drop all the water out of it to frost protect itself. If you are going to manually drain it, all you need to do is just make sure that your water pump is turned off, and then literally twist the blue diamond just here, and a blue button will pop out at the base of the unit. To close it back up again, twist, and then push it back in, and it will then reset. If it is auto drained, all that will happen is the blue button will pop out, and all you need to do is just push it back in to reset it. If you're pushing it back in and it will not stay in, it's just too cold in the motorhome, and you will then need to turn the heating on to warm the area up to allow it to reset. The only time we're touching the blue diamond is when we are manually draining it down. I always suggest that when draining down for full winterization, once you've twisted this and begun draining down the boiler, that you then go round and open up all the taps in the motorhome as well, because this will help in releasing airlocks in the system, allowing it to drain much better. So when it comes to refilling everything back up again, make sure we're in the right position and the blue button's back in. Fill up your fresh water tank, close all of your taps inside the motorhome, turn the water pump on, let it run for a few minutes as it starts to fill the boiler up, then begin opening up your taps. I usually turn them to hot first, wait until they're running freely, then turn to cold, and again wait until they're running freely, and then close them back down again, and the system will then fully reprime itself. Both front seats rotate round, and they rotate round just by pulling the lever at the front of the chair. Tucked down just here, you'll find a switch, and this switch here is for the heater in the waste water tank. So if you're using the motorhome in cold climate and there's a danger of the waste tank freezing up, you can pop this on to avoid any frost damage. Table just here, we can extend the dining by pulling down just here and then rotating it round, as you can see. This table can also be removed, and it literally just lifts up and unhooks off the wall, and you can also remove part of the table leg just there. If I now remove the travel seat cushions and then remove the cover, you will see the fresh water tank just here. So we can gain access to it just by unscrewing the cap just here to add cleaning powders, etc. And we also have the water pump just here. Cutlery drawer just here, and then storage all beneath it as well. In this particular drawer here though, we have the gas isolation taps for the motorhome. So we have the fridge, heating and hot water, barbecue, and the cooker. They are all in the on position, and they can stay like that. I do say they're more for maintenance than anything else. If you do smell gas in the motorhome, I always suggest that you just go straight to the bottle and isolate it there. Sink, extractor fan, so light on and off, fan on and off. We have the electric hot plate just here, operates just here. Red light comes on to let you know it's in operation. And then we have the 2 gas rings just here. Just push in, twist to ignite. Beneath that we then have the oven and grill. Push in to the left for the oven. And then to the right for the grill. Again, small amount of storage beneath. Then we have the pull-out storage racks just here. Microwave. Power setting just here. On and off just here. Beneath that we have the Thetford fridge freezer. On and off just here. This is an automatic model. So as long as you are on A for auto, it will find the best power source it can for you. So because we're currently hooked up to main supply, it's put us onto mains electricity with a little picture of the 2-pin plug. If I now ran outside and pulled the mains lead out, it would then automatically attempt to fire itself up onto gas. And as soon as we start the engine of the motorhome, it will then automatically go over to 12 volt maintain to keep itself cold whilst on the move. As you can see, the screen goes dark again after a few seconds. Just tap to re-illuminate. I can take it out of auto if I wanted to. So I can manually put it onto mains, manually put it onto 12 volt maintain. We're going to get a little red light there and an error code at the moment because the engine's not running. And I can manually put it onto gas. But auto is the easiest one to have it on. Temperature control just here. And then the last one just here is the unit's anti-condensation jacket. So it's currently on at the moment. Then it's now off. The condensation jacket definitely needs to be on in warmer climate. This stops the fridge from building up condensation behind it, which could then run down the unit and form a puddle underneath it. In the colder months, you can obviously turn it off. Washroom just here. So we have toilet just here. To open to the cassette, just slide the grey lever across. Blue button to flush. And then close to the cassette again. If this has been left open and you try to remove the cassette from the outside, it will not come out. So if you do feel resistance, just make sure nobody's left it open. Level indicator just down here, so this will rotate round to red when it needs emptying. The light switch for in here is just tucked underneath the vanity unit. We then have the basin, and then we also have the shower just here. Do make sure that the shower screen is secured for travel. Wardrobe, and again more drawers beneath it. We then have the lower bed, and then the top bunk. We have both ladders, so we have the ladder for the top bunk which just goes on here, and then we have the other ladder for the electric drop down bed. To use this, make sure that the sink glass is down, and then literally just push the button. As you can see, there are nets that can be clipped up onto the ceiling. We then have light switch just here. and then just push to pop the bed back up again. If this bed was to malfunction, it can be manually wound up and down. Just remove the cover just here and you'll find a 13mm nut underneath it. In the book pack that you receive, there is a winding tool